Hello everyone and welcome to another very beautiful chess game of Bobby Fischer. And this game is the second game in Bobby Fischer's book, My 60 Memorable Games. So Bobby Fischer is demonstrating this game as his second memorable chess game. So this game was played in international chess tournament in Portorož, Slovenia in 1958. So Bobby Fischer's opponent is Bent Larsen, one of his rivals, and Bobby Fischer met with Larsen in many different occasions. So Larsen was the strong Danish chess grandmaster, and in this game Bobby Fischer is playing with the white pieces and Larsen has the black pieces. Fischer starts the game with playing e4, c5, Sicilian defense, knight to f3, d6, d4, c takes on d4, knight takes on d4, knight to f6, knight to c3, g6, bishop to e3, bishop to g7, f3, and Bent Larsen castled, queen to d2, knight to c6, bishop to c4, knight takes knight, bishop takes knight, bishop to e6, bishop to b3, queen to a5, and Bobby Fischer castled in the queen side, b5, immediately attacking in the queen side, king to b1, and b4 attacking the knight, knight to d5, bishop takes knight, bishop takes bishop, and not capturing the bishop with the knight, but rook from a to c8, bishop to b3, and then rook to c7, and Bent Larsen wants to double the rooks. So h4. Also Bobby Fischer is attacking in the king side, queen to b5, h5 by Fischer, sacrificing the pawn, a very interesting move by Bobby Fischer. But Larsen didn't capture the pawn and he played rook from f to c8. So this is also one of the key moves in the game, one of the key moments in the game. So let's say if knight takes pawn, what's wrong with capturing the pawn with the knight? Well, after this move, we have many other different continuations. One continuation goes like this. Bishop takes on g7. If knight takes bishop, what happens then? Then of course queen to h6. And it doesn't look good for black. So knight to h5, g4. So e6, g takes on h5. And if g takes on h5, then rook from d to g1, that's check. And there is no defense, and black is getting checkmated. And let's say if king takes bishop, then g4 attacking the knight, knight to f6, queen to h6, check, king to g8, g5. If knight to h5, then rook takes knight, pawn takes rook, g6. And this is also a killer move. So if h takes on g6, queen takes on g6, the pawn is pinned. King to h8, queen to h6, king to g8, rook to g1, only defense, and black is getting checkmated, as you can see. Well, maybe if pawn takes pawn, we have rook to h3, rook from f to c8, rook from d to h1. And again, it doesn't look good for black. White created this weakness in the king side. So this is why Bobby Fischer calculated very deeply and he played h5, rook from f to c8, not capturing the pawn. H takes on g6 by Fischer, pawn takes pawn, and then g4, a5, g5. Well, Bobby Fischer is attacking the knight, so knight to h5. And can you guess the next move of Bobby Fischer? Bobby Fischer played a very beautiful move. What would you do in this position? Well, Bobby Fischer sacrificed the exchange he played. Rook takes on h5. What a move. Sacrificing the exchange. So g takes on h5. And then g6. e5. G takes on f7. King to f8, bishop to e3. d5, and e takes on d5. Rook takes on f7, d6, and black played rook to f6, bishop to g5, attacking the rook. And in this position, black didn't even defend the rook. Bent Larsen played queen to b7. Well, if rook to g6, then bishop to e7, king to e8, and then d7, king takes bishop, d-pawn, promoted to a queen, only defense, and queen takes rook, that's checkmate. So that's why we have queen to b7 by Bent Larsen, and Fischer finally captures the rook and getting back the material. Bishop takes on f6 and d7, attacking the rook, defending rook to d8. Well, Bobby Fischer played a move and Larsen resigned. Fischer played queen to d6, and Bent Larsen had enough, and this is the last position of this very beautiful chess game. So if defending with the bishop, let's say bishop to e7, then of course there is checkmate in one move. Queen to h6, and this is checkmate. And the second possible continuation goes like this: king to g7, rook to g1, king to h7, queen takes bishop. If queen takes on d7, queen to g6, king to h8, queen takes on h5. Well, there is forced checkmate. So if defending with the queen, queen takes on e5, queen to g7, queen takes queen. That's checkmate. So this is why, after Fischer played queen to d6, Bent Larsen resigned. And another very beautiful chess game by child Bobby Fischer, but he was already the United States chess champion. So this was the second memorable chess game of Bobby Fischer in his famous book, My 60 Memorable Chess Games. A very beautiful chess literature, one of the must read. And if you're a chess fan, if you're a very big chess fan, and if you want to improve your chess, also if you're interested in the chess history, you have to read My 60 Memorable Games by Bobby Fischer. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed watching this video, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.